Y'all, at this point, it is what it is. It will be what it will be. And some of these icons are just full of wonder and mystery. Hi everyone, welcome on back to the channel. You already know what it is today. We are talking about another Elite Specialization icon. This one is on the line of the third one that was shown with the central orb and those two curving ribs, whatever they might be. That one was the first one that we got where it kind of left all of us speechless, like, I really don't know, it could be a few things. And today, with our fifth teaser, we're kind of in a similar situation where it might not be as much of a clear profession, at least maybe to some. I actually have a bit of a stronger opinion on this one. I do feel like there's one profession that definitely sticks out. But let's talk about the icon first and foremost. This icon has 4 vertical, what look like blades or some type of sharp object cresting out, and then there are 5 claw-like features or teeth, and it's very animalistic in nature, at least the bottom fangs. But there's maybe a couple things to read into here. I mean, in terms of the number 4, I often attribute that to Elementalist with like the 4 attunements. That's one way to read it. It's not my strongest argument or strongest interpretation for this icon. Personally, with all of the claw and sharp edges and elements to this icon, I do get the feeling that this is maybe perhaps Ranger. Something that Ranger is very well known for are its pets. Many of the pets have claws and talons and will attack and scratch and claw. So that's where I'm really leaning into. And there is something a little bit wild about this. I get the sentiment of like animalistic in nature in terms of the way that the 4 other rising pieces are kind of going and fanning out. It almost looks like a face or like a feline of some sorts. The black splash background behind the actual art does look kind of wild in nature, like maybe ears or something. This one is a little tricky, and there's maybe a couple routes people could go down. So Ranger's the one that I'm the most drawn to in this situation. I've also heard maybe people saying Necromancer in regards to its claws, bones, and many of our summons have sharpened bone features. It could also read somewhat demonic because it is so abstract that it does kind of leave you a bit nervous. It's like, if I saw this staring at me out in the wild, if it was like an animal, I'd be like, oh. And if it was a necromancer and it was a demon, I'd be like, oh. So there's something unsettling kind of about the top and the bottom half when they're joined together, which I really like. So in terms of being unsettled, Necromancer kind of falls into that. It could be a little abstract, but it could fit. And then the other profession that we have that is a little bit more edgy, quite literally, with a lot of its spikes and sharp edges, would be Revenant. The Revenant in many of its icons have sharper, cleaner, and more pointed elements to their art. And depending on how the story goes, we might be dealing with some more demonic activity. I know in the recent patch in the story, we really were getting into a lot of the Shadow Army and the demons and whatnot, so maybe we're channeling something of that ilk, of that nature. And the Revenant is going to see something a bit more demonic to maybe also pair with Malix, which is the only other demon entity that we kind of play around with as characters. As Revenants, you can channel the legendary demon, Malix. So maybe Malix is going to get a buddy. Who knows? A lot of thoughts and a lot of questions, but kind of break it down. Let's see where we can go with Ranger first and foremost. With the Ranger, what I would like to see from an Elite Specialization is something that really focuses in on those pets and the companionship element with Ranger. Recently, I have been playing a bit of Ranger, and I noticed that they really took a lot of effort in reworking a few of their traits. And when I say a few, quite a few. I think there's about 5 or 6 traits that have been reworked to specifically enhance certain categories of pets throughout all of the core specialization trees. And with that, it might be like, oh, they're putting more attention on the pet mechanic, on the companion mechanic. And when it comes to an elite specialization of perhaps going to the nth degree with that theme, I would love to see an elite specialization for Ranger where you can equip and play with multiple pets, multiple companions at a time. If they would be permanent, like you get a second pet that you can use without like a pet swap, that'd be pretty cool. But if they're perhaps more temporary in nature, I'd also be okay with seeing that. You can call in, reinforcements. You can call in a cavalry to come and help you, and it's a bunch of your pets to come in and fight alongside you. There's that motif that I think could really shine on Rangers. And it would even like help assist maybe their core experience as well, being a bit more of a Beastmaster. But you are in charge of the zoo. You're a zookeeper. And, Elite Spec name just dropped, Zookeeper. That would be, I don't know if that would be great. What would I maybe want to see for Necromancer is honestly something akin to what I want for Ranger. I would love to see a Necromancer Elite Spec push further into the realm of necromancy and summoning demons, other minions. Perhaps they are more temporary in nature, but utilizing summons to help fight in combat and to really keep that pressure up. I would love to see that. They actually have done recently. They've changed a trait for fire elementalists where a condition, which is burning, now scales off of their power. So you can play a bit of a damage over time build without having to push into condition damage. I think exploring that on Necromancer could be kind of cool as well, where you have more prolonged damage over time for fights, but instead of scaling off of condition damage, it scales off of power. So there's a lot of minions running around. Maybe they're applying bleeds and whatnot with other traits that you have as Necromancers. Maybe something a bit more strike damage focused while summoning minions. We'll have to see. But I would love to play that in Guild Wars 2. And then finally, Revenant. Revenant is kind of in its own lane when it comes to what they can get, because the unique mechanics of having to give them legends. And legends in and of themselves tend to play a specific role in the Revenant class. So I'm not much of a lore master, I guess, when it comes to specific characters, especially when they might be of the demon realm, as this image is giving something more unsettling and nerving, maybe, for me at least. And yeah, Revenant could get really anything. Maybe another condition spec, another condition legend to help assist in that realm, just to pair a bit more comfortably with Malix, perhaps. And we'll have to see. That was the recent icon and the newest icon for Expansion 6. Comment down below what you have to say about this image in particular. Do you think it's maybe more animalistic in nature? Would you maybe go into the route of Ranger? Do you think it's perhaps more necromantic in nature, going down the Necromancer path? Or is this so abstract that you think this could belong to maybe Revenant, something that you summon and attune to through the mists? Or is it another class that I haven't even talked about in this video? Comment down below. I would love to hear it. I love to get in my bed at night and read everyone's comments and reply and see what everyone is thinking about. It's been my favorite nighttime routine recently, so thank you for commenting. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me over on Twitch. I stream on Fridays and the weekends, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Mwah.